For this particles animation, I simply just copied the workflow of Sketchy Visuals where he used C4D inbuilt particles. I just recreated it in Blender with the new Nexus Blender add-on. Yeah, so these are the 3 or 4 tests I did. So this is the Victorinox logo, and this is just this is something I just like something I had in my mind, like a guitar pick or something. Not only this, I also created some more cool effects with it, but just wanted to share few things which you can't actually, you know, interpret from the video of the sketchy visuals.
He's right.
Mainly the shading only, except that if you just copy whatever the workflow or like however he does in that video, you could basically do this.
Awesome.
For this one, I think I used like 80K particles. You see, there's a lot of gap. And for this one, as I said, this is 200 subscribers, so I used something like a 200K. For this one, it is like around 800K, and this took a lot of time to render and a lot of crashing. I hope things get better. So I will try to share the workarounds and how I made it work with the GPU of the specs. Yeah, first let's open Blender and let's basically hide everything and open the N panel. I am just basically copying what Sketchy Visuals did. I would really encourage you to like watch some of his tutorials, which were like amazing. So with this, we will make it 0 and make it around like 8K for now. And let's take a box, make this 206, 20, no, this 20, yeah, I think it works. Yeah, something like this works. Or maybe let's go down 14. Yeah, I don't remember the numbers, but I'm guessing these are the numbers what he used. After basically showing you how it is like done in this basic scene, I will also show you the shading, how I did that. And let's first play it. Okay, the particles aren't going anywhere, so let's have then attract. Okay, we are having the particles to get attracted. Now let's go look for something like follow geo. Yeah, and let's add a curve. We are using a curve circle and go to the follow geo, add the bezier circle. Okay, in the extended data, remove the offset. First, let's see. So we want the particles to move to the middle, and also they should rotate around something, for example, like a logo. For the namesake, we're just taking a cube and let's scale the bezier like something like that. So we want it to be attracted. Yeah, as you can see, the particles are following it. But we don't want them to follow it like this. That's why we release the extended data. And also at the spine end, you can see these lines are happening, so they are actually not getting attracted to the middle. So that's why we will make it loop. Now let's see. Okay, we aren't getting that line.
Yes, that's good. Because I'm telling you.
So that is cool. Spline data, everything works good. Let's increase the extract strength. Okay, yeah, it is working. And also follow strength. Let's increase this to something like 20. Yeah. Okay. Okay, when we have something like this, it is looking really cool, but we aren't able to see how the particles actually something like an age or something. So let's use the age with the gradient. So let's have the single color. Let's add annex color to see it more visually. Let's change it to age and change the age to something like 80, or let's just for now just leave it like that. Hmm. I think you can see how the particles are looking here in the middle. So we could actually see it like attracting to the middle, but we also need to have some non-uniform kind of particles. It as you see now, it is like looking something like uniform going in a particular direction, but we need to have something like a wavy kind of feel to it. So that's why we will be adding some noise to it.
Don't tell us about it, just do it.
Which is the turbulence noise. Uh, Voronoi. Let's see if what it's doing. As you can see now, it is not particularly going how it was intended from the beginning, but we can see there is the strength going on. Now let's see. For example, for now, let's disable attract and follow here and see. Okay. We are actually able to see the change now. Let's have something like scale of 200 and also increase the particles to 80K. Uh, so and also enable this one so you could actually see uh, the RAM being used. I think it looks good. Let's add the attract and make it something like one. Hmm. I think now you can see something like lines are being formed. So let's go to follow here. Yeah, it's working. It's working way better than I expected for this basic scene. So, and what else I did? So after that, I think I added just a basic collision, collision or something. Yeah, annex collider. Let's have the cube and also uh, where is it? Where's the cube? Okay, okay. I think you can see what is basically happening here. Let's increase this. Okay, if we increase this, like you can see the collision is happening in real time. Like it is looking cool, but something uh, we need to address is that the shape of the attractor is looking like a circle, and the middle logo or whatever you are aiming to have is different. So let's try to scale it like a circle. I mean, like a cube. Hmm. Uh, let's scale it something like that. Now I will, okay, it's kind of looking like how I wanted. Now I will place it something in the middle like this. And also I want to something like bounce. I want to see. Let's see how it looks. I think now you could actually see how it is going, but the scale is kind of same. So let's make it something like 6.5. I think now you could see how the particles are uh, like interacting. Okay. Okay, this is the fun stuff over. Now let's uh, mm, turn this into, now let's go to the, okay, hide the first. Let's add something like an X scale. Where is it? Yeah. For now, just disable it. Just don't do anything. Let's just play the animation. Now you could see like it is being dropped. But if you go to something like this, you could see the colors of it still here. Uh, let's have it something like that. So I'm just crunching the particles and also change the value. I mean, this is the value which I thought it would look good for something like 100, like a 200 to 300 frames. Actually, it is all looking good, and the scale is also looking good. But let's bring the scale to down. Let's bring the scale of the particles a bit less. Now you could see they are like 0.1. I want them to be like 0.001. I don't want them to end basically, but I just want them to have a place for them. You can see, yeah, there is a variation between them. So I will just increase. So this is just this is something like a numbers game. You need to just keep on playing here to get the actual size of it. And okay, why is okay? Looks like the end time. Let's change the end time to 80. Okay, now it is looking way better. Hmm. Okay, by the time we are getting to 80, we aren't actually getting anything. Let's have let's have something like 110. not able to I'm not able to see the particles enough. One thing is really cool is that it is already set to particle edge, so I'm not actually like changing any setting here. Settings here, like let's take 3.5. I think price is good. Yeah, actually it's working. Yeah, actually, yeah, it is looking good. Yeah, way better than what I was expecting. I will just mm, move the Visual a bit more top and also the cube to the top, because for now they aren't actually interacting there. And let's go to our scale. Now this is something we need to know, like you need to know, it is really important. It is the data mapper. So so this is the all the data, but as this graph will map how it would work. For now, you see, you need to look at this like this is x, this is y. So this would be something like 0 0 and 1 2 3 and so on. This would be 0 and this would be 1 2 3 4 on the y axis, and also the x axis. So now the highest point is 0.35. So this is the peak of it. But you should also remember, uh, one indicates height, uh, this indicates height, this indicates the frame. So but here as we took start 0.35, so it would start from 0.35 and later it would become something like 0.001. Let's look at it like that. And this is the let's look at this as the x line of the graph. This is the this part is the y line, this is the x line. So y indicates radius start and end, start to end, and x indicates start of time. So from 0 to 110. Here it is 0.35 to 0.001. So this is something you need to remember. So as we change something like this, so what I really want is that I don't want them to have like 0.35 from the beginning onwards. So what I'm changing is that I am actually like moving this to have a different variation, and at the end it should be 0. Yeah, something like that. So that is my actual goal of it. And also, you if having something like 0.35 and having 0.001 here and 0.035 here, like the large number here is confusing for you, you could actually change it. For example, let's have 0.35 here and 0. Just leave it into 0. Okay, I will play it. There are still particles being born because now the top is 0.035. That's why it is happening. So now I will increase this a bit. So something like now it is like 0.5. So maybe like half of this will be happening. Like in the end, it will, as a basic graph, this will be 1 0 to 1 0 to 1, like normal graph settings. I hope you are understanding it. I am not actually confusing you more in this process of making you understand. I think now you could see from the beginning we are seeing the particles, but if I made it to 0, they aren't. They are like we are getting the particles after the frame 1. So I want something like this, you know them to have it in the middle and slowly go to 0. The peak is 0.35. I think you all might understood. I'm hoping you all understood it. Yeah. No, you would see a sudden change and in this, yeah, I think now it looks way better, and also like we are able to see the lines here way more defined. So I will just bring it a bit more down, something like that. I only want them to peak uh, maybe something like 80 or something. So for now, just don't worry about these settings. We will come back to it again, maybe in the shading or like when we see how the colors are looking. Yeah, yeah, it is looking really cool. What's happening is that the point was not able to read the position of the Bezier curve and cube. I think it was modified, but let's see. I'm just testing it. Yeah, so they weren't modified. So I think you could see a bit of change from the previous frame to here. Yeah, now the swirls are looking really cool. Uh, I will now open other blank scene which I did, not the blank scene, the scene which I did, the Nexus logo and 200 subscribers logo. I hope it doesn't crash. Okay, it didn't, luckily. Let's see. Okay, the cache is also there. Let's go to the 200 frame. This is just the basic Nexus logo which I modeled, and also I had lights here and a big light for the particles here. And these lights are only for the logo itself. They are light link. Okay, why am I talking about that? Let's change. Let's go to the color. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah. Now they are looking good. So, yeah. First, I will just remove all the particles. Uh, let's say, basically, I will show you what you basically get when you cache the render. This is how it basically looks. So you have the color, you have the Nexus particle uh, material for the point clouds. But as you might have seen, this ain't this ain't what I did here. So it is different. So what we do here is for confusion. Okay, just to clear the confusion, I'm not actually having it in the middle. I brought the 200 subscribers back. Now I will select the cloud, and if you see, there are a lot of particles. Everything is looking good, but the color is different because the NX color I used here is different. So because first I thought 200 should be in white and something in the other color, then I had something else in my mind. So I will just use an invert color here. So what happened? the white changed into black and the red changed into green. So they are basically, what it did was, if it's red, the opposite color came like this. But we aren't actually trying for that. We are doing something else. So I will show you a basic setup what I did. Let's have this in the frame. Okay, rendered frame kind of looks okay. I'm hoping you're able to see this. Okay, now let's add a texture coordinate. Okay, and mapping. These are the things which we will get mostly. But I also took the age and radius also by changing few settings, which I will just show you here. If you go to the emitter, I think I forgot about that. Instead of basic, I changed it in the export option to velocity, color, and age, which we will use if you want to. But for now, let's see what we can come up with. I want white in the middle and a reddish or like that brick color around the frame. Let's add something like a color ramp. No, not a color ramp. Let's add mid color. Actually, let's bring both. Okay, now we placed it here. If I crunch it to this part, you could see the actual blacks. We are getting the black because this is the color data we are getting. If I take the radius, it will be something different because if I take this, we are getting something in reverse. We are getting these color, not in the middle color. So let's just have something like this. Instead of black, let's use something like uh, is this something we wanted to do? But it is getting closer, but this isn't what we wanted to do. We wanted to crunch it more. So if we go to rotation, no, it ain't working. If we go to speed, we are getting a cool effect, but it's not what we want. If we go to velocity, we are getting something else. But again, if we just go to this, we are getting the cool effect because we used this color ramp node. So I also changed the metallic and roughness because we are using the previous material. So yeah, you could crunch it, but the you can't actually change it drastically or like too much. You could only like do very little. So that's why we are using this mix color and also gradient node, something which is like you would really use a lot, in my opinion. If you see, let's have something like radical or quadratic sphere. Let's take the quadratic for now, add it to vector, and also I will duplicate this. Okay, uh, I duplicate this here. Just organizing this a bit so I wouldn't get confused. Okay, now let's see. Are we getting something? Are we getting something? Basically, no, we aren't. So the thing about this quadratic sphere is you need to move this like 0.5 because it starts I think the start of it is basically a bit different, but you can see, but when we change this, we suddenly got a basic color here. If we see, if we increase or decrease, yeah, I think you could see the difference. Okay, let's use UV. No, normal UV. Let's use constant for now. Okay, constant ain't working for this. Go to object. Is this working for us? No, it's still quite small. Like you can't actually drive this much. Let's go to camera. Is it doing anything? No. Let's go to window. Like you need to just keep on experimenting with these settings in order to like get window is basically giving us half of it. So it ain't something big. So what we need to do is scale this. Okay. Uh, Scale this and just move this to the middle. Actually, the particles aren't in the middle, and also the logo and the camera aren't in the middle. So I wantedly did this thing just to show you how it actually works. And now let's take something like 0.2. Yeah, 0.2 looks good. If we add it to here, it is looking good, but now it looks like very basic. So that's why we are actually using both of these. So which is something what I used. So let's add this here. I'm hoping it works. Okay, it didn't work. Let's do something else. Okay, now it is working. Let's move this to linear and move this something like that, and also move the white something like that. In this way, you could basically like do your own thing and have a different kind of heads. This is still a basic. Uh, Basically, I'm just showing you a rough idea how we could actually do this. But actually, you could even change this something like uh, if we just seriously take this and add this to color ramp, we have with something like 0. So the white would be taken by this. Ah, okay. Now let's see. Now as we have this gray bit of area here, and I will crunch this a bit. So we aren't actually getting it fully white, not fully black. Now if we just move this, you could see we are actually removing, but if we just do it simultaneously for both, we are getting this kind of grayish white kind of effect, which is something what I think I did in this. Yeah, and also I just uh, increase the brightness at the end for this particle scene, and also some other thing what I did in the davinci Resolve I will show you. So this is basically it. You could actually do a lot of things with so by like playing with these kind of effects, you could actually create a lot of cool things. And also if you just have something like a hue node, hue saturation node, and if I just added something in here, and I could like change this color here itself. We got blue, green, cyan, purple. Like, yeah, you just need to like have some basic knowledge about the shading and all. And this is all the basic things which I just knew, and not anything like, learning about attributes. If you know something about attributes and like geometry nodes, it would be even more useful to you than, basically like trying what some people already did. You could actually create your own thing. So, which is something I'm still struggling, because I'm just like, as I said previously, this is just a copy workflow of sketchy visuals. Now, davinci Resolve is open. So, what I will show you what I did. Of course, I added a few sound effects from headphone sound, and okay, as you see here, uh, as I mentioned, mm, as I mentioned to you, it isn't in the middle, so I had to like change this to be a bit more to the right. Uh, yeah. So as I previously told you, I was only using like 200 particles, but if you actually see the actual video, you could see like it had a lot of particles, because I actually like took uh, took this animation and placed copied them and just moved them one frame front and back, and also removed the final frame of this animation. So I removed a frame here, and I moved this uh, I removed a frame at the end, and I removed a frame at the beginning. So if I like do something like this, you could see a lot more. So, and also I think yeah, I don't think I did anything like drastically different. Did I add? No, no, I didn't add. I think okay, it was kept normal, but okay, if I just hide this, this is the amount of particles you could see. They aren't enough particles. If you see, there is a lot of gaps, even more gap. So it was just a basic editing trick I did. So if you were like struggling not to have too many particles, something like this one I did. After this one, I did this edit. So then I got to know like I could, get away with this. So if we rendered the particles twice, or like if we just only rendered the particles itself, and in case if you want to have like you want to show the volume, but if your scene is having some difficulties, as you can't do like render them separately, you could also do something else, which is like just duplicate the emitters, and then instead of using the box, just use the frame. I mean the rectangle. Use the rectangle and place them something like mm, something like this. As in the end, a rectangle is also a line, right? So now this will emit the particle, this is emitted one, this is the emitted two, everything will be mostly same. If you have any questions or groups, try to like just copy it. Let's If you just use this copy option, it would work same. So and so like you actually eliminate a lot of particles in the middle, but when you see it visually, it wouldn't be that much different. Maybe if you are using like 400K here, maybe you could just get away with like 20K, 20K by using the top and bottom. Yeah, that is one of the things what I would have done if I had this issue. I hope you learned something useful in this video, and make sure to follow Sketchy Visuals because he was the main inspiration, and I asked his permission to do this because everything what you see in the saw this in this video except the shading things, it was all copied. You know, I will say it because it was a copy of it. So all the credit goes to him, and because I think this is a really interesting add-on and useful add-on for us. I think this is a useful add-on. I think this is really cool to have for Blender. Actually have something like interactive particles in Blender itself by not going to other programs. And yeah, feel free to follow. And I highly encourage you to follow Sketchy Visuals and make sure if you could afford it, if you could afford, get Nexus and also feel free to donate to Blender. I hope you learned something useful. Happy blending. See ya.